everyone, my name is Ikra Damji, and today I'll be talking about why we should not be using our phone while driving. The general purpose of this persuasive speech is to convince people to not text or use phone while driving. By the end of the speech, I will try and make sure that I can convince the audience of not driving while texting. Now, I'll give you a situation. Imagine that you are buying your dream car, and you have spent lots of money and you have put in a lot of weight to get that car, and now you're on the road driving that car, and suddenly you start using your phone because you have a text coming from your friend or from your girlfriend or from your boyfriend, and you lose that distraction, and it causes a accident on the road. That means that you have just lost the dream car, and you've also risked your life and the life of the other person of the people who are present on the road. This topic is so relevant to the audience because more than 90% of the people in the audience drive, and you might consider texting while driving, and this is a pretty normal thing for a lot of people. However, it is considered as one of the highest reasons for death in America. Even though I've never been involved in an accident, but my best friend, she recently got into an accident because she was busy texting her mom while driving, and that caused to her distraction that led to a major accident, which has deeply affected me, and that is why this topic is so important for me. I would like to argue why driving and texting at the same time is not a very safe option. The texting and driving is commonly reported as one of the most common reasons of accidents on road. Therefore, I would like to share what consequences it can lead to. First, I would like to talk about the probability of the occurrence of the activity of texting while driving. And second, I would like to talk about the disadvantages of this activity. So how common is this activity, or the probability of it occurring on the road? First, texting while driving is prevalent and considered a common activity in the whole country. On the road, there are several of drivers who are impatient and are anxious to know who has texted them or called them. This eventually leads to the loss of focus and distraction and leads to severe damages. According to the CBS News, dopamine, which is a chemical present in our brain, its level increases as you anticipate messages, and that leads to higher levels of pleasure. Now, getting desirable messages can increase that dopamine level and lead to more anticipation, which causes you to check that phone. The drivers feel that attend their phones is extremely important, and that if they do not, they might miss out on something very important, something very interesting. The activity has been occurring for a very long time, and it has a great possibility among the teenagers who might consider it cool, or they might think that they're able to multitask. Now, according to the Reuters, 1 in 3 teen drivers in the US text while driving. They've barely started driving and not observed enough damages to consider texting while driving as a threat. The extent of damage that can be caused to driving while texting while driving that can be caused is more than how much damage a drunk driver can cause. The law of texting and driving has changed over time. In 46 states, the activity has been considered illegal and banned. However, there are still some places that do not consider it as a very major threat. Now, let's move on to the disadvantages of this activity. Even though using your phone can obviously be a very normal thing, but it can not only distract you physically, but can also distract you mentally. And because once you start getting all these calls and messages, your mind sort of shifts and focuses on the phone rather than the road. Now, using your phone can involve several types of distractions. Now, in this image, you can see that there are three types of distractions that can be caused, which is visual, which is losing the focus on the road. Then there's mental, which can be caused because mental or cognitive, that can be caused by hearing the tone or the sound of the phone again and again. And then manual, which is you might reach your hand to the phone or to another device, and then you might lead you might lose the control of the steering, and that might lead to several damages. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, that is held in 2013, 3,154 people were killed because they lost the control while driving, and the main reason was because they were too invested in their phone. The accidents also tend to increase the hospital bill yearly. They increase your insurance policies, your premiums, which can cause several damages and can also be disadvantage to people who are not able to afford such a big amount. Therefore, not only it can cause you physical, mental, or mental problems, but it can also lead to an increase in your insurance and premiums. Another consequence, which is a very common one, is the criminal penalties. It can lead you to several months in jail or several days, sometimes years, depending on how severe the damage is. Now, in order to end this persuasive speech, I would like to conclude by saying that there are two reasons why not using your phone while driving is much beneficial, because it can save not only your lives but around the people. It can save you tons and tons of money, and you can always have a better experience on the road. Since I've started driving, I would like to let you guys know that it is a very safe option to stay at home, and to make sure that you guys do not use your phone while driving, so that it can lead to a better experience and not cause a harm to your life.